All right, everybody, thanks. Getting started a little late, very late. Sorry about that. I couldn't miss today. Had to rip through, absolutely go through a bunch of markets and want to get into some of the main markets. NASDAQ's right back down today. So I'm going to do a quick review. What's going on over here? All right. There you go. Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, we usually start 11 a.m. So today it's already 12:30. I'm not going to get into it. We'll be back on Thursday at 11 and try to be more prompt. But I'm going to do a quick review because what the heck? Crypto, Bitcoin. Thank you very much. There's the risk disclaimer. This is not financial advice. This is entertainment. I hope you find educational. I'm not a financial advisor, although I used to be. So if you need financial advice, seek your local financial advisor. Pretty easy. That's what SEC would tell you to do. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Ziggy. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was... What a lesson in what not to do, right? Go get all my licenses and then 3 years later, can't do it. No, all the stuff you did online, yeah, it's now violating the law. I've mentioned that before, so what's happening? Hey, Greg, what's going on? Samuel, Snipes, let's go. So really quick, I'm not going to spend much time on it. We covered it yesterday, but look, Bitcoin is just trying to bang that 886, just hit it every time, hits against a wall. What did we need to see? Something that I pointed out yesterday where depending on the time frame, your data feed, some of them, it's interesting because here we go again. We actually got amplified and HSI, depending on your data feed, for a secondary test. So this is, again, we want to keep a close eye. Other data feeds didn't get it. Some did. Some of the, what was the one I was just showing? Not on Coinbase, but there was one or two of them that registered. Yeah, this currency.com was one of them. Has something to do with the time zones. And again, I think what this really shows us is probably need to just look at the longer time frame, more than 4 hours. We know where, the daily situation is pretty clear and squeeze between these two levels with HSI almost triggering a secondary level on that data feed. A couple of the other ones fell just shy. For me, it's 46, 47. That's it. I mentioned something about 45,000, but or 44,000. No, I think this is right here. You don't want to. You need to see this go up from here, or something else is going to come and thump us, like today, Nasdaq. But I'm thinking we're still in reactive territory. Even in your worst case scenario, you come up to the 49,039 at target one and come back to retest in more consolidation fun time, if you will. The fact that it hasn't violated yet is a very good sign, folks. The other thing that you can note from this individual price action, we're trying to take out prior lows here. Okay, there's the inflection low, 46,000 almost exactly. Then you come back in a really thump of a candle on a 4-hour candle down 2001 shot, no follow through, can't even violate the hop. So this last low was a scratch higher than the prior low. This is where the levels are critical. This is why I entitled today Harmonic Levels, because what is really a harmonic level? You could say almost any level retracement ratio in one way or another is harmonic, but not really. Look, the 886 is the cubed root of the 618. These kind of fractal relationships that in the right combination of ratios, in the right pattern structures, is absolutely the key. That's what took me 7 years really to figure out on just structures, folks. Maybe even more. Ha ha, that's funny. Yeah, I'm not even going to respond to that. We had a whole bunch of that online talking about that. Without even saying anything about that last comment, again, go ahead. Trade anything else other than the harmonic numbers and see what you come up with. Go 10%, 20%, 30% and use that and see if that works. It won't. Unless it's a 50% in a bat or a 5-0. You have to have your levels in specific spots or they're not, one, valid, or two, if they're not in the harmonic ratio spread, you're not talking harmonic. You can talk exponential, algorithmic, arithmetic. But when it comes to the algos and constructing algorithms that are truly harmonic, you have to have not only levels of 886 and the other prescribed ratios, but you need really precise points, 113, or if it's an ABCD, a complementary ratio. That's why this zone is so critical for everything in crypto. We know about it. Somebody's asking me to post the 5-minute chart in Bitcoin. Yeah. A lot of patterns back to back. Look. And even if we just went with crab patterns, which is, I think, a valid way to go. Look at the 5 minute for right now for this morning. Bitcoin came off that 1618, hit the target one. So again, for today, you've got HSI at the 5 minute, probably go for a retest. I'm looking to the hop around 47.9. And this 5 minute chart should really, after the last couple of tests in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, you got to get off this floor. So, and I'm still saying that this all fits within a seasonal bounce. Go to, let me just clean it all up, but at least do a 382, something like this. Really, remember, this is still the minimum plan here. C point with a 5.0 to like 56 is still your 5.0, but your 382, which is even less, is under 53 a shade. And I think a reactive 382 move could work, and then you get things like some of the other ones that we have mentioned recently that are bouncing, moving. Algo continues. All right, went up, pulling back yesterday. Okay, so far so good. Here's another one. Again, just total garbage. But this Gitcoin is moving again. I don't know what this thing is. If we have any crypto brainiac experts in here, tell me what this Gitcoin is. This thing looks interesting. And I already told you the story. I'm watching it. Okay, but before I take a large position, if this is going to really go, let's give me something on a pullback here on the daily, weekly, 4 hour. Looks like it's just trying to base out pretty aggressively, but still making higher highs consistently over the last 9 to 10 months. Let's keep an eye on that. Couple questions. Let's make it quick. Would a retest, let's say around 42K, not keep you bullish? Would that not be a type 2 retest on the shark? Fantastic question. And it's the comment question. Insight is great. Absolutely. This is reactive for sure, a reaction, and not to the 382. Okay, that's something to think about, where we're dealing with a 5.0 structure, but minimum harmonic moves are always at 382. Something that you want to see, at least get it off the floor. Do a reactive to the 382, 618 area, and then come down. So by definition, we're still in a type 1 on the 5.0. One of the things I have talked about, there's some course material on the website and in the Discord of having a terminal bar check back. Now that terminal bar comes down, you're right, at 43 at that 886. I mean, really that C point, what we're looking at, would be effectively your terminal bar. But this is still type 1 reaction material. That's why I'm saying that, where I'm still saying that Bitcoin reacts. However it comes off of here, its immediate objective is 56, or we can be super conservative and say 53. But that's where, think of it as like as a specific kind of a sequence of within the consolidation, where even if it's going to go sideways, this 50% 382 level, I'll even just leave it at that, minimum 382, needs to be tested before it could even go down again. And that's how I would look at that. If you were going to assume that Bitcoin was going to go down, it's going to likely be off that 382. It's more, folks, it's just, reminiscent of this. Okay, and remember, actually, the real low back in June was on the 21st, was right there, and that was the 886. So you had a little looping, bang, boom, go. And we had a couple things, but really the 886. It was a full retest of your January low, but it's a similar condition where we are. Ideally, I wish we did have an HSI here, a second one, or an amplified that was hit. So it's really firm. The hourly chart's probably better because, look, you do have things here where you're getting some reactions. The most recent one was this bat pattern that retested yesterday's lows and reacted. So the takeaways, you've got patterns, you do have levels here. That's why it's so critical. As I said yesterday, the clock is ticking. 30 bars. 30 bars really take you to the 21st, but we're already 30 bars into type 1 material with a couple of bullish patterns. Just has to firm up. Hot Carl says weak hands capitulating according to Glassnode. That would be a great sign. I know that it was over leveraged. And I think back in November, there was some really high marks on the leverage. Probably why they crushed them. Everyone just said, oh, stock to flow, and it's going to go. And they just blindly piled in and got crushed. So I really think that, we're waiting, but I'm okay with it still. And I'm not looking for more than just, reactive territory. 56 would be, seems like would be a huge feat now, but I still say you're sideways grinding, that's okay. Here's the Bitcoin futures chart. And the daily time frame, remember this? Still hanging in this butterfly zone where we reach target 1 to 2. No HSI, unfortunately, yet. No arrow. You see the pink arrows there and there, but nothing here. Is this just reaction? I really don't want to like overstay my welcome on this, but you are so absolute in terms of your make or break range that the 44 whatever 292 should not be violated. This should start the return to retest the 127 off of that butterfly for the type 2. Couple of things that are okay but still might be something we want to keep an eye on is this amplified reading, trying to get out of here, but we have the green line going on. So if we roll over, we go back down and then hit and go, okay, that would be not a surprise. There's two ways this can do it. It can continue to go sideways, or it can come down, hit the level, and go in a flush move. But I want this whole area to just basically be the bottom for how type 1 reactions come into these zones and then stabilize and turn around. We talk about this. All right, it's really important why these two levels, target 1, target 2, define the reaction. First of all, you have to get to target 1 minimum to really complete the objective for type 1 reaction. In this case, we really hit it there. We might have scratched it here. What was the low on that? 53,600. So we did. On that bar was really where we hit it. But you didn't return. You went back down. The other thing is, whatever the trend line is coming off the top, you're going to basically surf that all the way down. Draw your trend lines, encompass your secondary peaks, really critical. You don't want to fudge those trend lines. And here, 6, 7 days later, we're in a lot better situation where give me a pop, give me a 3 bar reversal. 3 bar reversal. Look, last 3 bars. 1, 2, 3. What's the highest of those three? Basically 48,670. You need to get above 48,670 to get on the march out of this hole on the daily. Or even just close above yesterday's high. We have not done that in over a week. 47,725 would be the close. Yeah, come on. Oh, thank you for telling me that. Bottom of the screen is cut. I'm on a different monitor. Let's show you what you need to see. Darn it. I've had a few issues the last couple days. Okay, let me detach that window. I don't know what's going on here. I will figure this out. Don't know why. Let me bring that out really quick again. Hold on. I don't know. It's stuck. I think there's an interaction with the program. That should be better. Let me know if you guys see that. Bottom window. It's super clear, folks, though. Daily time frame, at least you have a whole bunch of stuff to go on. Imagine, think of it this way, okay? You have broken the downtrend line. You're retesting. You scratched it. You come back. You're retesting. You're stabilizing in the zone here. All right. I want to see this get out of that hole where your target 2 level. That's it. You don't want to see this thing fall out of this range in a type 1 reaction, or it's going to take more time. That was yesterday. More time. Ideally, we'd like to see this thing drift back up to the 127, or even the hop would be great, and then give us a surprise sell at the 72,962. Something like that within the harmonic framework. We're not there yet. That type 2 return has not initiated. We don't have enough evidence for it. So let's jump into the regular markets, okay? Because these markets need to go for Bitcoin to get something, get a little juice. Today, there's NASDAQ getting thumped. So this is actually bearish engulfing. You're going to probably close well below the prior few lows. Talk about a 3-bar reversal. That's it. And this can just set up where we have a quick 886 retest back to the zone. Your 618's around 1600, 15,950. I'm about to get ringed. Hold on 1 second. I know it's going to happen in about 2 seconds because I'm starting so late. 886, folks. 15,630. Yeah, I would do that. That would make sense. And, we're dropping now. We're at the lows of the session. So that's the kind of backdrop where markets are going to go down. Crypto is going to be a little concerning. Out of the screen again. Okay. And I think, Thursday I'm going to come back for another long session. Let's quick look at S&P 500. I've got about 5 minutes until my people are going to be here. S&P 500, not so bad, right? 4,800, trying to pierce it, but nothing. The right of the screen, I'm sorry. That tells me a lot about what we're doing. I got to look at this. Remember, S&P, folks, trying to do, let's go back to here. Yeah, I'll explain it on Thursday. I haven't even had a chance to fully set up this new computer. But here's the thing, folks. You have kind of a skewed structure that this is something I wanted to point out for a little while of why we might need more time to work through this. Okay, here's your 886. 886. Look where that is. Okay, 886 is off of that extreme high to low at 47.12. But you had this really unusual kind of secondary move. Let me bring this back over right here. And it negated the structure. This is really important. Okay, this is where you do a move like this. Okay, this is no longer a deep crab. And that materialized, I don't know, what was that? 10 days ago? What was that, on the 21st? 16th? And we've still been up in this whole advance, but there's no pattern structure. So anything off of here, maybe you do a 1618, but not much more than that. That's why I think there's a lot of things here where you're closer to top end resistance, getting close, where even if that's just a simple 1618, that should be about it. A lot to go on. I mean, really, we've talked about some of the big stocks last week, talked about big caps like Walmart, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. Here's the Dow. Real quick. This one's better. Take a look. Okay. That's in a better spot, at least to give you a nice W formation. But this is a butterfly. Check this out. There you go. I've got to bring this over. We're still in the kind of early stages, but look. Right there. And take the B points at a 786. Meanwhile, all right, 786 right here. That sets up not a 1618, folks, but it sets up a 127. And that's why we're, this early action, 37, 125 or so, you're not far away. You're probably 2% higher. We want to keep a close eye because what's happened with a lot of the big cap tech stocks, if tech is getting hit right now, and then money's going to the big caps in a final flush, it makes sense that would go higher now and then register a couple of things. We're almost overbought as well. So keep an eye on this last rush of a move that we get into Friday. And that's, for me, I think, between Bitcoin, NASDAQ, S&P, all of these lining up, we want to focus on where are we going to be at the close. That's going to tell us a great deal of what to expect for the month and for at least first quarter. Because if we don't blow the doors off here, then we're going to have to rethink more time and look at yesterday's session because I really outlined that concept. So that's what I have for today, folks. Shortened session. We'll be back on Thursday. Do a full one. Thanks again. You have any questions, reach out to me. Until then, have a great one and go.